The latest next on the flood emergency in British Columbia. The BC government is now shifting to recovery. The Canadian military mission in the flood zone is winding up as well.
The forces have so far provided enormous help in our communities when they needed it most. And we would not have gotten through the onslaught of heavy rains without them. With weather conditions improving and floodwaters receding dramatically in recent days, we are shifting to recovery and debris management work. There is much work that still needs to be done, and the province stands ready to help.
That is BC Public Safety Minister Mike Farnworth saying a contingent of 126 military personnel will remain near the flood zone, standing by to give emergency help if needed. Farnworth will get a look at one of the hardest hit communities today himself. He'll be traveling to Merritt. As our CBC News team showed us yesterday, at this time, hundreds of homes there are uninhabitable. And that's just one place where the recovery ahead will be difficult because major highways are still being repaired. And some First Nations communities say they remain cut off.
We have community members who haven't been able to come home and won't be for quite some time. We're doing the best we can, but with the pending weather and Christmas coming, we're all exhausted and we need major assistance to come in and help pick us up in an expedited way.
The Cooks Ferry First Nation is made up of 26 small communities along the Thompson River, not far from Spence's Bridge. Both major routes into that area, the Trans-Canada and Highway 8 from Merritt, are still closed because of the flood damage. Minister Farnworth will meet with Indigenous leaders when he is in Merritt today. Meanwhile, farmers in the Fraser Valley are calling for more provincial help too. Isabel Regam has their story from Abbotsford.
It's not much snow, only a few centimeters. But when you're thick in the middle of a disaster response, this makes the recovery harder.
The snow it's just kind of a bit of a pain. It complicates to clean up a little bit.
Outdoor equipment and machinery is wet. Mold is everywhere, and the tasks ahead are daunting.
I'm so depressed, and sometimes wake up nighttime, can't sleep very well now because always thinking about what happened, what to do tomorrow, what I can do day after.
This blueberry farmer is still struggling to process losing most of his belongings and his livelihood.
Since you planted, it starts 5 years just to give you a little bit of fruit, but at least take you 10 years to get full production.
James Doppenberg is also coming to terms with the long-term hit.
Once the cows get stressed, it takes a long time to come back. Their lactation is affected for sure. It'll take years probably to really get everything back.
And while this weather only adds to their frustration, there could be a silver lining.
The colder temperatures over the past few days have also worked in our favor as the lower freezing levels reduce the amount of snow or snow melt that gets added into our system.
And that could persist in the days to come.
We do have a cooler trend in the forecast for the next week or so, and with that, we're not expecting any heavy precipitation systems.
Over the weekend, the province expanded its financial assistance program for people impacted by the floods, covering more of the province and pushing back the deadline to March. But farmers say the $300,000 cap on claims is far too small. They say they are facing damages of well over $1 million. They're hoping the federal government will step in and boost supports. Isabel Regam, CBC News, Abbotsford.